Hello, this is Paul from Foresight Tech. In this lecture, we're going to go over the inverse trig functions. Okay, the major ones to just evaluate the function, the value of the function. And the inverse function is the inverse trig function is the inverse, right, of the trig functions. And we have 6 types, but we go over these 3 types. Well, the inverse sine, the inverse cosine, and the inverse tangent, the basic one. Okay. All we need is this definition, right? If we have a sine function, this sine mapping theta to a real number x. Theta is the angle. Okay. So the inverse of sine, of course, is mapping the real number x back to theta, right? Okay. This is the basic definition. But the inverse function only exists for one-to-one function, and for sine function is not one-to-one. It's only some pieces. Okay, the function is one-to-one, so we need to pick one piece. You remember, okay, the definition is we pick this piece. This is theta belongs to negative 90 to positive 90. Okay, from quadrant 4 to quadrant 1, right? So because theta belongs to negative 90 to 90, sine is 1 to 1, is increasing 1 to 1, so we can define the inverse function. Okay. And I will not going to draw the graph for you. You learned that before. I just showed the most important part for what is the inverse functions. So for the inverse cosine, the original function cosine mapping theta angle to the real number. Okay, when theta belongs to 0 to pi, which means the function is 0 to pi, the cosine function goes down 1 to 1. So we can define the inverse. The inverse will mapping real number x back to theta. Okay, inverse function you can find the angle theta. The last one is inverse tangent. Okay, if theta belongs to negative 90 degree to 90 degree, remember tangent function is increasing 1 to 1. So we can define an inverse. Of course, inverse tangent mapping x back to theta. Okay, keep in mind which one is the most important is the definition, the domain. Okay, for the inverse functions, not the domain. Sorry, is the domain of the original. So this is the theta. So which means the range. So we have the range here. Usually we say this is for inverse sine. Okay, theta is belongs to Q4 and Q1. And for inverse cosine, theta is belongs to Q1, the quadrant 1 and the quadrant 2, right? Okay. So for inverse tangent, there's a quadrant 4 and the quadrant 1 does not equals negative 90 and 90 is not equal because the tangent cannot define at that 2 points. Okay. However, sine we can, so include. Tangent we cannot, so exclude. Okay. And I have 2 questions. So how to find the inverse sine and the inverse cosine? Okay. We'll look at these questions. So here is the questions to find the inverse sine, right? Okay, you can draw the inverse sine or arc sine is the same. We use the inverse sine at 1/2. So what is the angle, right? Inverse trig function is used to find the angle. This should be the angle. So how to do? How to get these questions? And we follow this basic way. This is the angle, right? So we set up. This is the angle. We use theta. Usually we use theta to describe the angle. We do this. We let the theta equals that inverse at 1/2. Okay, and this means what? Remember the definition. We don't like this inverse. We go back to the original sine function. So sine should be mapping the angle theta to 1/2, right? Okay, so we put it here. This is the most important. The most important is to put this sine mapping theta. The angle goes to the real number 1/2. Okay, that's not all. Remember what is theta? Where is theta? Theta is belongs to here, negative 1/2 to pi over 2. Negative 90 to 90. This is the definition. The most important is here. This is the definition. Okay, so now all we need to do is what? So once we get this, keep in mind that this is the most important. If you get this, you almost get the major one. This is the major information we need to use. Now we have an equation, right? It's a trig equation, of course. In the future you will learn, or you already learned it before from trigonometry, right? You just solve this equation to find what's theta. Okay, so we have a basic strategy to find the solution for these trig functions, trig equations. How to break it down this the domain for theta. How to? So F1, so, and theta belongs to Q4 and Q1. Okay, that's why negative 90 to 90 is just like this. Okay, and this is a Q4, right? So this is a Q4, this is a Q4, this is a Q1. And for sine theta, so for sine function that we know, can we see? Sine at Q1 is positive, right? Sine at Q4 is negative. Can we see? That is the, this is all the measure. Okay, so all us is going to find a solution at here, right? This is a negative 90 goes to 90 degree for all the theta. All the possible is here. Q4 does not work because sine is positive. So Q1 works, right? We need to do what? We need to find a solution in Q1. So first, we need to do this. We need to search Q1 is not a Q4. Why? Because what? Because we know sine is positive in Q1 and negative in Q4. We cannot. So now, okay, so we can see this. So which angle to search in Q1? So let me do. Q1 we have 3 basic angle, right? So here is 45 degree, and here is 30 degree, and here is 60 degree. That's all the possibility we need to choose. Otherwise you cannot find it. You should use the calculator. So this is a good number, so we can directly find how to. Sine 30 is 1/2. This is the one we find. Why? Because sine at 30 degree equals 1/2. See, theta equals what? Equals 30. Is not 30, 45. 45 sine square root of 2 over 2. Sine at 60 is square root of 3 over 2. So at 30 degree is correct. Have you seen? So now after search Q1, and you can directly tell yourself. So we get theta, the solution, only one solution. Okay, is 60 degree, 30 degree, which means pi over 6. Okay, why is this? Because we know sine at pi over 6, sine 30 degree is 1/2. Just fit this equation. Have you see? You break it down into these 2 steps. Search Q1, and among the 3 basic angle, you get 30 degree is the solution. So now you make a conclusion. Now, so what? So the original is here, right? The original is sine, inverse sine at 1/2. That's theta. Theta now we get is 30 degree. Okay. So this is the solution. Solve this equation is not so difficult. Okay, the basic trig equations. Okay, we look at one more. Is how to find the inverse cosine. Is the same. Okay, is the same idea. We are going to the same idea. So the first step we set up theta. okay, to describe this angle, right? So let me do, we can set up, okay, we let the theta equals inverse cosine at a negative 1/2. And then the most important that we wrote the definition. So sine theta goes to negative 1/2, right? Okay, so no, not the sine, sorry, this is cosine. So cosine at theta goes to negative 1/2. Okay, that's the definition, right? So where is the possibility for theta? Remember, theta belongs to 0 to pi, right? So where's theta? Theta is 0 to pi. Okay, that's the definition. Remember this, the most important. And this is the most important, the definition we have. Okay, now what to do? You have equation to search theta belongs to 0 to pi. 0 to pi, if we draw the quadrant, is q1 and the q2, right? So now let me do this. Search where? So can we look at the beginning? This is q1, this is q2. Okay, so you highlight it like this, and the theta belongs to 0 to pi is q1 or q2, right? Okay, so for what? For cosine. So this time of cosine equals negative. Remember, q1 cosine is positive, q2 cosine is negative. So you choose q2 to search, right? Good. And choose, no, yes, search q2, because q1 positive does not fit this equation, q2 negative fit this equation, so we search q2. Let me write it down. So now we have to search q2 for the solution. Okay, you know the reason, right? Because the cosine is negative, okay, in q2, positive in q1. So q1 we cannot find the solution, q2 we can. Okay, only one solution. So now after the search, you should get your solution. Let me go back. Okay, so now I search q2. If we write it here, q2 we have 135 degree, yes. So this is a 120 degree. Do you remember the special angle is 150 degree? Okay, so we do this, and which angle fit this equation? So we're going to see this cosine 120. Why? If you remember the unit definition, cosine 120 equals 1/2. Or you can do this, cosine 120 equals negative cosine at 60 degree. Reference, right? The reference angle you used before, and then equals how many? Equals negative cosine 60 is sine 30, which means 1/2. Can you see? This angle fit this equation, fit the original equation. Can you see? Cosine 120 equals 1/2. So what is 120? 120 if we write it into pi, which means how many is 2 times pi over 3. Okay, so this is the solution we found. Now we get theta equals 2 pi over 3 is 120 degree. Okay, why? Because we just know cosine at 2 pi over 3 equals 1/2. Okay, because the function is 1 to 1, you only one solution find it. You find the one already, so make a conclusion now. So the original angle, so inverse cosine at negative 2 equals this, right? No, here. So or here is 2 pi over 3, which means 120 degree. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.